Well, hello Trek Gang, and welcome to episode 37 for 2022. I'm Ray, welcome to the Boeville Newtown, but I'm actually not out at the layout. Episode 35, I talked about my locomotive roster, and the fact that, for the Boeville Newtown, the stuff that's out in the other room, with the exception of those few diesels that are antiques, for lack of a better term, everything out there runs. However, there is stuff back here at the bench that has been in various states of, I don't know what you want to call it. Some of this stuff is repairable, some of it isn't. Because of the fact that right now I've got 3 spare locomotives out there, the B&N, PA1, actually there's 4, the S3 for the Southern, the Rio Grande FP7, and the Pennsylvania FP7. I really don't need to go into or try to repair some of the other stuff that I have. There's no urgency to it. Let's put it that way. Would it be nice to be able to run some other? Yes, it would. However, like I said, because of the fact of what's out there, there's really no point, and I really don't have room to be able to put a lot of this out there. So, but I'm going to show you what's in. What I'm going to start off with is called the basket cases. This is the stuff that is, there is just a lot of work that needs to be done. So let's just swing down here to the box for a minute. Okay, that's just a shell. We've got this Rock Island, what I call DDT locomotive. This is an AHM Tempo. This is one of 3 or 4 that I've actually got. This one here, I don't know what's wrong with it. I haven't fooled with it for a while. I might play around with that and see if we can't get that going. Not that like I said, not that I need to, but eventually it would be nice. We've got a Rock Island BL2. I would like to get this thing up and running. I don't remember what was wrong with it. I think it might just be, it just needs to be cleaned up. Like I said, some of this stuff has been back here so long, I don't remember what's wrong with it anymore. Yet another CF60 PH. This one here, I do know what's wrong with this. This one's got a broken gear. This is one of the ones that, of the 3 that I've got, this is the one that will run. I just have to fix the gearing in it. This is a this is actually the Chesapeake and Ohio's BL2 frame. The motor, for whatever reason, smoked on this, and I haven't had a chance to dig in to figure out what actually happened. That happened in the move. This kind of irks the little bit of crap out of me because the Lifelike P2Ks and the Athearn Blue Box, it's basically the same mechanism. And as we all know, the Athearn Blue Box stuff is pretty much indestructible. I don't know what happened to this. This is actually supposed to be the frame for the Western Maryland, but because of the fact that I already had a Chesapeake and Ohio locomotive out there, I decided that I was going to swap frames and use this here for the Chesapeake and Ohio, which this is what that BL2 looks like. We've got as soon as I get the shell back on here somewhat, this is another one of those Bachmann units. And for some stupid reason, the shell doesn't want to go back. There it goes. I know I've got the card in here for it. I don't remember what this is off the top of my head. Let's see here. Okay. I've got this listed as a U30 for the chassis system. This is a Bachmann unit. Of course, we all know about Bachmann units. I'm almost certain that one there's got bad gears in it. Along those lines, we've also got a Delaware and Hudson. I believe that this is a GP20. This is also a Bachmann unit, and guess what? It's got a bad gear. Imagine that. We've got and this poor thing's falling apart. We've got a GP18, I think is what this is. Oh, it's a GP9. Painted up for the Rock Island. This is an AHM unit. Another one that I think just needs to be cleaned up. I just haven't, like I said, I don't need to mess with this stuff. And I've also got to repair the railings on it. This little thing, this here is a, alright, where the heck is it? I know that there's a card back here. Oh, actually, you know what? The card isn't back here for it. It's actually out on the layout because the Great Northern replaced it. I forgot what the heck this thing is, but this has got the same issue that everything else that Bachmann ever put out has, and that's the fact that it's got a bad gear and the fact that the wheels keep coming out of gauge. I love the little locomotive, but it's starting to really irk the heck out of me. Oops. This poor thing. This here actually belongs to my brother. This here is a, I think this was a Bachmann as well, or a Lifelike. That's a Bachmann. It's supposed to be a smoking locomotive. It hasn't run right for a while. I don't know exactly what's wrong with it. And one of these days I'll play around with it. He's not in any hurry for it. This dude, for whatever reason, the timing on this thing keeps getting out of whack. This is a 484. This is a Bachmann unit. I'd love to get this thing up and running again, but like I said, the timing for whatever reason on the wheels keeps getting out of whack, and I think what has to happen is I need to go in there and play around with the gearing. I already replaced the gears in this once. Again, it's another Bachmann unit with a gearing issue. But I do love this locomotive. Eventually I will get it straightened out and get it on the railroad again. That basically covers it for the basket cases, the ones that need more work than I'm willing to put into them for the moment. Like I said, especially the Bachmann units with that gearing issue, it's one of those things, you know, we all know about it. I've got spare gears floating around in here from stuff that I've, you know, the shells were broke or what have you, and I've gone through and cannibalized stuff. So, now, I'm going to stop here for a second because I'm going to pull down stuff that's just back here to be worked on. So, give me a minute and we'll be back. Okay, we have a New Haven Sea Liner. This is an AHM. I think one of the issues with this is the fact that it just needs to be cleaned up. Again, it's just a spare locomotive. We've got an Erie Lackawanna. Again, another Sea Liner. The only issue with this one here is the coupler box is missing. I've got another Sea Liner frame sitting back here that actually does have a coupler box on it, so I'm going to probably be doing a swap out on that. Again, there's no priority to these things. Here it is. We've got another one of this. Here's a Tyco DDT. This thing, I don't even know why I even bother. It runs, but I can't get couplers on it. This here's an AHM little switch unit. This one here has been painted over or patched out for the Boeville Newtown. This was a Santa Fe unit. Again, I think these are just back here because they need to be cleaned up and they don't like switches, so I've got too many switches. Here we get a Penn Central. This one here is also a AHM unit. Slightly different. But, like I said, I think some of this stuff just needs to be cleaned. I've got a Durango locomotive. The issue with this, the motor runs, but the pinion gear that comes off the motor is gone. I don't know, this was in a box of stuff that was given to me, and it's like, man, it'd be nice if this thing ran, but I don't have the pinion gear, and I haven't really gone looking for it either. So if anybody happens to know where there might be a pinion gear for a Tyco Power Torque, keep me in mind. Before I get into that box, here we've got an Erie Lackawanna GP7. This is a Bachmann unit, and guess what? It's got a bad gear. It's another one of those ones that I got to take apart and fix. I'm going to go ahead and, a while back, Santa Fe Bob had sent me some stuff. The only reason why these are back here is because I haven't had a chance to paint them up yet. This is an FP7 that's going to be painted for the Boeville Newtown. There's an A unit, or there's a double A unit, but the other one is a dummy. One of these days, I'm going to get this thing to run on the layout. In fact, I just got finished adding a piece of an S-curve back here, so I can test some ideas as to how I can get that goofiness between these two, between the locomotive and the tender fixed, so it'll actually run on the layout. It runs great around 22-inch radius. Don't try to run it through a 22-inch radius S-curve. It doesn't work. And the last but not least, I'm going to start naming this thing the Sparky Special. And of course, if he's watching, he'll already know what's coming. This was a Baltimore, Ohio GP9. It is now going to be a BL9 GP. I haven't messed with this in years, literally. It was a mashup locomotive that I wanted. It was something different that I wanted to mess with. And in fact, it's the only locomotive out of the Athearn sets that I actually went ahead and put. I got rid of the whisker that goes between the motor and the poles, and actually put in a flag connector, to which, of course, needs a little bit of work because the truck doesn't turn. But that's okay. I gotta work on that. That's why I said this thing has been a basket case for a while, and I just haven't. I need to go back and mess with it. I need to make it look. Wait a minute. Like that. The BL9 GP. Eventually. So anyway, that's basically what's left of the locomotives. Now, why am I back here at the bench, you might be asking? And, well, that's because of, Dave was here the other day, or actually last week now, dropped off a Crooked River and Eastern hopper car that I want to go ahead and get into the card. I'm going to build a car card for it and get it into the inventory. And while I was cleaning up back here, I realized that I have some rolling stock that needs some attention. And also I have the car from John Benacki, the Monin car. So I figure, well, you know what? I think that beside the fact that Ian's outside, or at least the remnants of it, prayers to everybody down in Florida. I hope that all of our Florida friends made it through. That would be the ones that I know about: Nisi J, Tom Kovichak from Tom's Trains and Things, Robert Sacco, and Steve Childers down at the Retirement Railroad. Those are the four or five that I know that are down there. I'm hoping everything is okay. I haven't seen anything or any updates from anybody. I did talk to Nisi. Everything seems to be good with them. But, you know, I haven't seen anything from Robert or Tom or, gosh darn it, Steve. Since Ian went through. So, you know, I'm keeping everybody in our thoughts and prayers down there, because that was a mess. And understand, folks, you know, sorry, I had to move it back a little bit. It was a little too close. Understand this. I was in the service from 1988 to 1992. I was stationed in Charleston, South Carolina in 1989, waiting for my ship to come back from overseas. If anybody is familiar with the dates of September 21st and 22nd of 1989, that was when Hurricane Hugo, a Cat 5, decided to pick Charleston as his target. I know what Florida is going through right now, and that was a Cat 4 that hit them, but it was a slow-moving Cat 4, so it might as well have been a Cat 5. It's not fun. It's not going to be fun. It's going to take a lot of work. It took the time that I was in the service, from 1989 to the time that I got out in 92, basically for Charleston to get itself back together. And to be honest, I still don't think it was right when I left. It was a very nasty storm. Ian was just as bad. You know, like I said, I'm sorry to get off on a tangent, but it is what it is, and we have to be with them right now. Is all I've got to say for that. So I'm going to get to work getting some of this stuff put away, and maybe even start working on some of this other stuff down here, but we'll be back. Folks, actually this is too bright. I'm going to have to turn this off. There we go. That's better. And try and get out from underneath the halo. That's going to conclude this video. Went ahead and, at least from what I remember, because it's now Thursday and I started recording this thing earlier this week, or actually late last week, but went through you know, some of the stuff that I've been working on, went through the basket cases as it was, so you all know the deal. Oh, wanted to remind everybody, don't forget train show down here in Timonium, October 15th, and then we're looking to do the B&O Railroad Museum on the 16th. So if you're coming down, or coming down this way, great. Hope to see you there. Yeah, I know it's still a week out, but the other video would come out next week's video would be right before, you know, the show. So, week in advance. Hope everybody had a good one, and you all be safe. You all know the deal. Wait for the highball. Green tracks ahead. Be safe. God bless. We'll catch y'all next time. See ya.